Nowadays, we're taught manifestation, right? Think it, see it, dream it, you can have it. But desire and readiness are not the same thing. We've had Solstice, we've got my Jiu Jitsu, it's my 3-year milestone. The myth of Cerridwen, it's all teaching me the exact same thing. Here are 3 things that I think we keep trying to skip ahead in life and business that simply can't be hacked. And I think these are the very things that shape us into the woman who can eventually hold what we're asking for. Hello, my love, and welcome back to Wild Flow. Today, we're talking about winter solstice, about becoming, and about something I've been thinking about deeply lately, which is the idea that perhaps so much of our suffering comes from trying to skip ahead. And this is what the cycles and seasons teach us of the earth and our bodies so clearly. Trying to rush the answer, force clarity, trying to become the woman who can hold something before we've lived the seasons that actually create her, we can't jump ahead. At the Winter Solstice Temple that I held this weekend for the 6th or even 7th year, I can't remember now, we walked the spiral path as part of our ceremonial ritual. We surrendered all that we have birthed, bloomed, and become over the last year. We look back from one winter solstice to the next because wherever you are in the world, the winter solstice is the end of the solar cycle, the growth cycle, and the beginning of the new. So for us in the Southern Hemisphere, our seasonal new year is actually winter solstice, June 21st, not in December and January. And so as we look back, we can see from milestone to milestone back into the past, the growth that we've had over the year. We can remember what we were laying down and calling in a year ago, 2 years ago, 3. For many years, there were women who've been coming to this for years. And this year, we again laid down old roles and identities, old stories and ways of being. And we walked into the darkness carrying only the tiniest inner flame. And the beauty of this is that we can see what we called in and released a year ago. Wow, that feels quite a long way away. But in the moment, in the everyday, the 365 days between winter solstices, it feels like nothing much is happening because that is the micro moments. But looking back, we can see just how much has changed. I love winter for this. The medicine of winter solstice is that it is dark. It looks like nothing is happening, like the light has left us, that we are just hanging in the void, waiting for the light and the warmth and the fun times to return. But winter is that cocoon time, the time of root work. Like the plants, there's no leaves on the trees, there's no blooms, but the roots are deepening. They are branching and dividing. They are studying themselves. They are seeking more water and nutrients. They are making themselves stronger, ready to hold the potency of what we are calling in the new year. So where it looks like we're not getting the beautiful flowers, we can't see evidence that anything's happening. Winter doesn't promise immediate answers. It doesn't ask us to bloom when there's not enough light or warmth or nourishment to sustain us. It doesn't demand that we know exactly where we are going. It simply asks us to trust the dark and come back to the inner flame within us that holds steady in reverence and devotion, that has trust and courage and faith, that we have everything that we need within us to find our way through the dark and back to the light, to die and to be reborn. This is a really profound spiral ritual. We do it again and again because it never loses potency. After this temple, I was sitting with one of my dear sisters, and she was searching for answers. She wanted clarity. She wants to know what's next. She's been asking and inquiring and feeling like she has been in deep listening for quite a long time. And it's frustrating. And I really witness her in that wanting to know, but not getting the clarity in the way that she wants to have it or on the timeline that she wants. And honestly, I think we've all been there. That feeling of just tell me what I'm meant to do. Tell me what the lesson is. Tell me where this is all heading. Let me make meaning and make sense of it. I'm ready to get going. And in the temple, she pulled the oracle card of Cerridwen. Now, if you don't know the myth of Cerridwen, she is a Welsh goddess of transformation, rebirth, inspiration, and wisdom. She is a wise crone or elder goddess. She's the keeper of the cauldron. And in her story, she brews a potion that grants eternal wisdom. But here's the thing, that potion takes 1 year and a day to brew. 1 year and a day. And it must be stirred every single day in devotion, without fail, at the right pace, keeping it at the right temperature, keeping it stirring so it doesn't catch. Because if it's neglected or rushed, the potion spoils. And I love this story. Since I first heard it years ago, it has really stayed on my mind. I have created journeys, meditations, practices, rituals to work with the medicine of Cerridwen because I think this is such an offense to the modern mind and a contradiction to the modern world. The world we live in is obsessed with now. Instant healing, instant success, instant answers, instant transformation. We can order food to our door, skip to the next episode, curate our own playlist so we don't have to listen to the waffle on the radio. We can take pills, proteins, and supplements. We can change our bodies in any way that we want. We can augment our comfort in ways that our ancestors could not even imagine. We can get food from the supermarkets without having to grow it and potentially have that crop fail. And I just think that we have lost the capacity to wait, the trust that wisdom might actually require time, the patience to let things ripen, and devotion to keep tending things and let it become, because it just doesn't come instantly. And you know what? Leadership and business does not work like that either. It's not a mail order. It's not a Netflix. And I just see this and have been living this and walking this time and time again. Trying to grow our sacred business, offering our soul work, even as the most devoted being to our own personal practices, our own evolution, our own learning, is very different to the devotion that it takes to see ourselves as a leader, to understand the exact way our medicine moves through us for others as different to a personal practice, and to really step into our full sovereignty, our sacred authority, to arrive confident with zero fucks, seriously, and to stand there and to say on repeat every day, in and out, stirring the pot, this is my medicine. This is my work. This is who I'm here for. Come and work with me. I think so many of us are pivoting before our message has really had a chance to fully form, flourish, and bloom out in the world, because we're in that discomfort of, oh, it's not working. I need to try something else. I think that we collapse because social media feels hard when actually it's devotion to show up and to create content. And we tell ourselves, yeah, and me too. I've said this. I didn't become a coach or a space holder or a priestess to, become an influencer. And it's like, yeah, well, we don't have to be influencers, but we do have to find ways and use the technologies that are available to us. How lucky are we actually that we have podcasts, we have Instagram that helps us connect with thousands, millions of people so easily in a few clicks of a button. And instead we push it away and go, ick. Like, yeah, okay, but we are lucky. And it is devotion. It is coming back to devotion that really helps us to stay the course. Now, I'm going left field on a tangent because one of the places where I've really learned this lesson most deeply in my life and can't get over how much this is relevant is in through Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. this week marks 3 years since I first stepped onto the mats. I sat there 3.5 years ago when my two older daughters started jujitsu on the sidelines watching. And I was like, shit, man, they are so confident. I don't think I could do that. This is quite confronting. Like, wow, they could get hurt. Wow, this is testing. This is a mental and physical endurance. Oh my gosh. And then going, hey, no, not like that. Do it like this. Like, yeah, put your hand there and yeah, your knee there and do it like this. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. And then going, fuck, I think I want to have a go. Oh my gosh. I was like literally shitting myself at the thought of getting up there. Just even putting on my gi, which is like you might call it like think of it like a kimono or pajamas, even a gi to just even turn up to that first class. I can't tell you how long it takes us women to even go, yeah, I'll give it a go and show up to that first class. It is intense. So it took me 6 whole months to just even attend my first class. And I went to women's class, thank God, because it was a beautiful, safe space. And this last 3 years, honestly, it has been one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Because, like I said, it is hard enough just to get on the mat. And then when you start, you're terrible, absolutely terrible. You can't remember the techniques. Your body won't do what your brain is like, can't even understand, but is trying to make sense of. You don't even really know what the point of jujitsu is. You're like, what are we actually doing? What is this about? You get submitted over and over again. You're using all of your strength because you've got no technique. But as you get better, it becomes less about strength and more about technique. And, it's more like Tai Chi as you like breeze through it and glide and funny. Nowhere near there yet. You think you've finally understood something, and then someone like half your age effortlessly submits you and reminds you that you think you know something, but like a 16-year-old who's been doing it for like 8 years is way better than you. And yet you keep showing up again and again and again, like wondering why, but addicted because slowly something shifts. It certainly is not that you've become amazing. There's no PB, there's no wins, there's no like gratification. Um, it's really hard to even tell if you're progressing. It literally depends on who comes up on the mat against you. And it's really confronting to even wrestle. I think I spent about 6 to 9 months of not actually wanting to wrestle, which is the entire point. I was quite happy just like learning techniques and, having a bit of a gossip in girls' class. Um, so it's not that you suddenly become amazing. It's not that you begin like winning. It's that you begin to understand that mastery isn't built through giant leaps. It's built through showing up again and again, every time, every week. It's built through thousands of tiny refinements. One small adjustment to your angle, one breath, one shift in your hips, one tiny, tiny detail that just suddenly changes everything. You no longer need to gas yourself out using all of your strength. It becomes technique where your bones, for example, can do the work for you. And through that process of showing up and learning, listening, refining, facing yourself, your shadows every single time, 3 days a week, something far more valuable than technique develops. You develop capacity, resilience, humility. Oh my gosh. Anyone shows up to jujitsu with ego gets it knocked out of them pretty much immediately. You are humbled. And I think that this is such a bloody gift in this day and age to be humbled and to be in a team of men and women who are humble. So you can feel safe to be completely fucking shit, completely smashed, completely red in the face, completely beaten, to completely not be able to get your brain around something and to feel safe. Because the other thing with jujitsu is you just can't hack it. It is not like anything you've ever done before. You can't go in there with a natural affinity for it. It's not like, oh, I'm like gonna go to like I've got a natural affinity for running, like sprints, because my body just has like that kind of build. It's not like going to lift weights because you're naturally strong. It's not like going to gymnastics and you're naturally flexible, or playing tennis and you just seem to have like good hand-eye coordination. I've been good at sport my whole life and I have never been shitter at anything than I have been at jiu-jitsu. So it actually repels a lot of people away. A lot of people quit really, really fast. And I think this speaks to just where so much of our suffering in life, in business, and leadership comes from. Because I think we confuse desire with readiness. Just because we desire something like a black belt in jujitsu, or, maybe a blue belt, which it took me a good 2 years to get, and still don't feel like I know what I'm doing after 3 years. Just because we desire something, it doesn't mean that we're ready to hold it. So, putting this into business, I can desire 10 one-on-one clients, but still not have the nervous system or the capacity or the structure to hold those 10 clients. I could desire to be more visible, have an audience of millions. But if I don't have the capacity, the tolerance, the safety in my own nervous system to be seen at that level, to have, what does that mean? Comments, haters, to need to respond to people, like, oh, panicking about an influx of people, or panicking about, oh, am I saying something and people are going to judge me and tear me down? If I can't hold that, it doesn't matter. I can desire a bigger business and not yet have become the leader, the woman who can carry the responsibilities, the boundaries, the team, all of the behind the scenes bits and pieces that comes with it that need to be done in order to hold it. And I think that just so much frustration in life now comes from this one misunderstanding. Nowadays, we're taught manifestation, right? Think it, see it, dream it, you can have it. Because we want something, we think we should be able to have it. But desire and readiness are not the same thing. And all of these pieces have just been swirling around for me because we've had Solstice, we've got my jujitsu grading this week. So I've got to front up and perform 30 moves by myself in front of a room of people and be judged. And it's my 3 year milestone. I'm also solo parenting right now. And so it's a real like, what is your true capacity? What are your priorities? Like, you can't do everything. What do you need to do and put in place to be able to hold this lifestyle? Desire and readiness are not the same thing. And so over this last week, I've been really thinking about this. The myth of Cerridwen, my 3 years on the mats, it's all teaching me the exact same thing. Here are 3 things that I think we keep trying to skip ahead in life and business that simply can't be hacked. And I think these are the very things that shape us into the woman who can eventually hold what we're asking for. So the first thing is capacity. I see this all the time. We say we want 10 clients, we want the visibility, we want to be able to host retreats. We want a bigger business, we want multiple 6 figures, we want to be working, doing all of this on like 3 days a week or something. And I have like these desires. I have these desires for sure. And they are beautiful. But what I've been shown again and again and again and again, over the years I've been running my business, especially as I've been scaling my business and growing not just my income, but like, what does it even mean to do that? Like, what needs to change in order to do that? Because it's not about how many live clients I can see. It's so where else does the money come from? How can I have different channels of income? How can they all stack over each other? How can I create recurring income? So that one client is paying me again and again. But so I'm creating recurring revenue. So that means it's dripping in every month. It's predictable. And yet it's not asking me to like do loads more. Like, the nature of my work has changed. I'm actually seeing less clients than ever in my whole life. And that's beautiful because it means I'm doing less Zoom calls, which exhaust me. I'm doing less thinking. I'm much more creative. I've got way more scheduled free time as well. And I'm doing a lot more on behind the scenes of my business. I'm restructuring programs. I'm writing more emails. I'm doing more podcasts. I am embracing social media in a way I've never really embraced it before. And so, how's my money coming in? Group programs, yes, some premium one on one and long term, like 12-month containers, and all of the other programs that I've been making by putting together materials that I already have or have added extra bits on and built them out to make micro programs that serve different problems, but all part of the same big problem and challenge and desire that my truly soul aligned client really wants. And I'm doing so much work for myself to be the woman who can hold it. So my nervous system doesn't actually want to hold 10 live clients, right? But it wants to hold the space, the income, and it wants to be able to hold the visibility and all the things I need to do to make that happen. So, can your nervous system hold the number of clients that you want and the income that you're really desiring? Can your body hold the pace that you're asking for? Can you regulate yourself and really root deep into yourself to feel safe, secure, and fully alive in your full expression to be visible? Can you tolerate the criticism, disappointing people, making mistakes publicly, being okay with being misunderstood? Can you hold more complexity and responsibility? Can you hold the structure? And are you willing to do the tech pieces that create automations and structure so your business works and is consistent even when you're not? Because the thing you desire has requirements. And one of the kindest things life does is not hand us something before we've actually developed the capacity to hold it. I was even saying this to my husband the other day. Like, you say that you're going to do something, you better well bloody well follow through with it, because the universe is going to come along and try and give you what you want. And then it's going to realize that actually you just can't hold that. You're not a responsible steward of whatever it is you want. So it's going to redirect and flow to somewhere else. If you've ever been given something before that you could hold, you'll know that it needs to be something that does not overwhelm you. Sometimes the delay is not punishment, it's preparation. The second thing we try to skip is identity. Nobody walks into their first jiu-jitsu class like dreaming of being a white belt. It's like, how fast, how soon until I can get a stripe and I can get a blue belt? How long did it take you to get your black belt? It's like, oh, if I keep doing this for like 12 years and like really being devoted and dedicated, like that's probably the soonest I could get a black belt. When I started, I remember saying to one of my black belt coaches, if I show up and work hard, like consistently in devotion and do my absolute best, I think I was, how old am I? So I was like 37, right? I was like, maybe when I turn 50, I'll be about ready to get a black belt, right? That's a long fucking time. And also, do you know what? People can go for 20 years, 30 years, like be nowhere near a black belt. It's really not about like just showing up. It's about what you do with it. We'll come on to that. So nobody dreams of being, we call it, and it's quite inappropriate and I apologize, but a spazzy white belt. Because white belts, you don't know what you're doing. You've got no idea. Your limbs fly all over the place. You end up punching people like completely by accident all the time. I did it and I got like, fists and toes and faces a lot. Knees in the groin, knees in the boobs. Like, whoops, sorry. We had to have like a swear jar for how many times in women's class we would say sorry. Nobody wants to be a white belt. What we want is the confidence and the mastery, the authority, the ease, the identity of the woman who's earned the black belt. We don't even necessarily it's not the belt we want, it's what it represents, right? The woman who is forged through devotion, repetition, humility, failure, showing up on days when you don't feel like it. And yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I hear you. Like when I started, I was like, well, how can I be really cyclical about this? And yes, that's important. Um, and it's been a real process of understanding like different ways I can train, different ways I'll show up. Do I want to go on my period? Do I want to just go to women's class rather than go to the mixed class where I'm like probably going to get my ass handed to me? Maybe not. And like having that compassion, but also that firmness and dedication with myself to be like, do you know what, girl? Stop making excuses. Like, you're good. You're actually going to feel better for this. No one's an asshole. You're going to be fine. Like, you cannot skip the becoming. You cannot only show up when you feel good and when you feel like it. It's about becoming or staying a beginner over and over and over again. You can't skip becoming. And even like black belts are still learning, right? There's actually a coral belt that I think you only get after something like 60 years and you're a master. And maybe there's like 20 of them in the whole world, right? So the woman who can hold your next level is being shaped by this exact season, even if you can't see it yet. The third thing we try to skip is devotion. And to me, this is the medicine of Cerridwen, a year and a day, daily stirring. It's not glamorous. There's no shortcuts. There's no hacks. There's no microwave transformation. She can't Netflix it. It's just pure devotion. I think that one of the reasons why I hold these longer containers and longer mentorships, a year, for example, and I've worked with women for multi years, and it's not because I'm holding out and going like, oh, you're not done yet. You need to keep circling around with me. And so I can, take your money off you. It's actually because transformation, true, lasting, meaningful transformation, it can't be rushed. You can't build authority in a weekend. Like that's just performing. You can't become deeply rooted in your leadership through one insight because we change. You can't build reputation through one launch. It takes the year and the day and more. Consistently showing up, letting yourself being seen and saying, hey, this is what I know. This is what I'm here to be known for, and letting people, waiting for them to see you, inviting them to see you back. You can't regulate your nervous system, in a click of a fingers. These things are seasoned. Building a business is not a weekend job. It is an ongoing body of work that requires the devotion of you knowing what you're doing, and really at some point team. To be seasoned means that it has been cured through all four seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. It has been flavored by the elements of those seasons. It's not just quick. It's not a ready meal. And I think this is where so much of our suffering comes from, because comparison is grief. It's grief that we're not there yet, grief that we can't jump to the finish potion, grief that we still have to walk through the messy middle, grief that we still have to become. I'm always reminded more recently, it came to me and now I can't unsee it, if you know what I mean. There was a nursery rhyme or childhood rhyme that we used to sing when I was young. And it was, we're going on a bear hunt, and it's got verses and chorus, etc. But the repeating bit is, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you can't go around it, you've got to go through it. And it was always in meeting things like a huge river or a mountain or a mud pit. Like it was always like an elemental, real hardship. You can't avoid it. You've got to go through it. And I've been telling my clients this, and I just it pops into my mind again and again. Like we're going on a bear hunt, and that bear is essentially, well, it's our shadow, it's our fears. We have to go through it, but it's also our goals and desires and our biggest golden shadow, our biggest medicine. When we look at someone else's confidence, their business, their visibility, like how many followers they've got. Oh my gosh, they've got so many followers. Oh, their leadership, their impact, the size of their business, their community, the programs that they have, the money that they're making, whatever it is. whenever we wish that we could just arrive there too and get frustrated about, like, oh my God, like I just can't figure it out. Yeah. Do you know what? There is no magic silver bullet. It's the difference between showing up in devotion every day and being willing to learn and learn and learn and to take lessons from other people, but then we have to apply it to ourselves and walk through it anyway. This takes time. It takes time. The woman who can hold the size, the dream, the goal that you want, she was forged in the very seasons that you are trying to skip. She was forged in the very seasons you are trying to skip. So we're not actually grieving their success. We're grieving that there are still seasons we need to walk through ourselves. And that's tender. That's asking us for patience. It's asking us to dig deep. And it's asking us, are you really sure you want this? Are you willing to do what it takes? Is this your priority? Okay, let's put your money where your mouth is then. It's asking for that kind of humility, to be willing to fail. I saw the singer Rosalia posted on her stories some time ago this beautiful piece, and it was in Spanish, but it was captioned in English. And it was basically saying, may I become so masterful at failing that I am no longer afraid to fail. May I be humbled. May I be so comfortable falling apart and being seen, failing, because in that, I will have the courage to keep showing up. And through these failings, I will learn. I can't remember exactly what it said. Maybe you can go find it in one of her story highlights. But it was basically just, may I become so masterful at failing, because then I will not be afraid of failing. And I was like, oh my God, I needed to hear that so much. And maybe that's medicine for you. So we really need to trust that the woman we're becoming is being shaped by things we don't yet understand, that there are going to be hurdles and bear hunts that we don't even know are coming. But it is all not just in perfect divine timing. I don't mean that in a place of like, just sit back and let it happen, but we can't make it come faster. So instead, we need to be asking, what is this season making possible for me? What capacity is this season building in me right now? What is being crafted in me, for me, through me right now? What is the lesson in this? If I was to look back in a year from now, what will I be like? Oh my gosh, look how far I've come. I remember what I was calling in and laying down, and now I can see, even when it didn't look and feel like it, I was really working through something important. And look how far I've come. So, love, I invite you now to close your eyes with me if it feels safe to do. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Imagine yourself standing in a dark cave under a new moon, starlight outside, stillness, coldness, dampness inside. And the only light is coming from the fire under Cerridwen's cauldron. Inside the cauldron is the thing you are longing for. See it now, envision it. The specifics, not just the business or the visibility or the impact or the money, but like, what specifically is it? And why do you want that? What does that give you? What does that enable? Because we never just want the thing, we want what it allows. Move towards the cauldron, and instinctively you want to lift the lid, to take a little taste, to check that the cauldron is not yet ready. From behind you comes a cackly voice. Not yet. Keep stirring. Keep showing up. Keep becoming. Come back at the same time every day. A season at a time. A spiral at a time. The moon at a time. And before you know it, the year and a day is past. The woman who can hold this and receive this and be a good steward of what you are calling in is still being crafted. You're not there yet, but it is not for nothing. Every step, every initiation is taking you one step closer. Life is the initiation. And even when it makes no sense, all of the threads weave together in ways you can't see to create the most beautiful, rich tapestry that is you at your peak, your full impact, your full legacy. We're not there yet. We've got so far to go, all of us. So can you trust? And what is being asked of you to be in devotion, to keep listening and learning, to not change course just because it feels like it's not working or it's too hard, or we tell ourselves, oh, it's not aligned anymore. It is all for something. So ask yourself, what part of you is being shaped right now? What quality is being forged in the fire? What wisdom is this season challenging you to step up and earn? What are you learning that can't be hacked, downloaded, rushed, sped through, chosen on demand? And if you trusted that nothing was late, if you trusted yourself so deeply, if you trusted the spiral path, then that every turn, every season, every moon, every step is just as valuable as the others, even the ones that challenge you the most, how would you embrace, walk, show up through this season differently? Because maybe this season is not delaying you. Maybe it's developing your capacity, shaping your identity, teaching you devotion, showing you what you already have that you haven't appreciated yet, showing you what you don't have and that you actually need to do before you can have the thing you think you need. Maybe the threshold you're standing at needs every season it will take you to shape you into the woman who can hold your full expansion, the biggest goal. And maybe you're not dreaming big enough. Let's pop that one in there too. Perhaps the wisdom you've been searching for is not on the other side of this season. It's the wisdom is the season, a year and a day, a season at a time, a spiral at a time. So keep stirring the cauldron, love. I'll see you next time. And I'm going to pop some journal prompts in the show notes below. And I really encourage you to sit with these in whatever way that you do. Blessed be, blessed solstice. Thank you so much for listening, my love, to Wildflow podcast. If you found medicine in this episode, please share it on socials and leave a review. If you are a sacred space holder, a coach, a priestess, a healer, come and take the free quiz now to discover your sacred feminine leadership style. Understand your frequencies is magic and medicine for your soul client, and how to work with your leadership edge so that you can show up in your sacred authority and create the business that holds you so you don't have to hold it all. Until next time, my love, stay devoted to your body and your spirit as sacred guide as you share your unique medicine in this world.